Greetings, precious souls. Welcome to Cosmic Truth Authenticity, Manifesting Your Highest Self. The Cosmic Truth Global Summit is gathering a unique panel of leading edge New Earth visionaries who will share potent, soul elevating wisdom to dive deep into our higher dimensional realities and activate the truth of who we are. We are invited to embrace our full multidimensional authentic selves and manifest our truth as divine humans, activating the new galactic age together, birthing the new golden earth. I am Anne Lise Ashaara, your host, and I'm delighted to be here with our guest, Igor Galibov. Hello, Igor.
Hi Annie, how are you today?
Great. So let me introduce you to everyone. As the founder of the Alignment of Light Academy, Igor is devoted to guiding others into deeper self realization and direct connection with the unseen realms. Through his teachings, Igor bridges the mystical and the practical, real world wisdom to help students awaken their intuitive gifts, remember their soul's purpose, and embody higher consciousness in everyday life. So it's really a joy to have you here with us, Igor. Thank you again. And so today we will be conversing around your topic, which is Master Yourself, Master Your Life, Energy Bodies, and Multidimensional Awareness. So this is very exciting. And so maybe to start, could you begin by sharing a few words about your journey of awakening and becoming a spiritual teacher?
Oh, okay. So
A few
my journey
words.
took yeah, it took in 2004 where I had a very sharp awakening and I started to see and feel energies and that took me into a spiral of 4 years into a deep meditative state. So that awakening that I had was so sharp that I did not understand really what took place, where I had to disconnect from physical reality. I literally just stopped communicating with friends, family, going out to places. I was 24 years old back then. So that was kind of a sharp turn in my life where I understood that this is not real. And there was nobody to share with, no one to talk to about this. There was nothing on Google or internet. It was just coming on, YouTube. So this information was not there. There was nobody to talk to, relate to, and to see what's really taking place. Friends and family started to think that I was a little bit crazy, like going out from partying 24 years old to drinking and having fun in clubs, and those that remember it, and then all of a sudden this rapid change was like, this is not real. What do I do? How do I do this? And I started to go deeper within myself. And there were a few books that really helped me to understand or kind of like have downloads from. So, and from that moment on, I just started to meditate, and I would meditate for 16, 18, even 20 hours a day, where I completely lost interest in physical reality. As I started to venture out into different dimensions, I started to encounter different beings, angels, different entities, and I started to, okay, wait a minute, but they're here, these are here. What level are we on? What's going on? I started to kind of put things into a different perspective, so we can understand them. Because talking to somebody and telling them I saw this, they're like, they get startled and they don't want to talk to you anymore.
Mm.
So I had to find a way where I can communicate that into a more simple language where people can understand. So I started to do healings afterwards. And after a certain period of time, I realized that healing people does not really help them. I had to go back home and clear that karma off myself for the next 2 to 3 days.
Mm.
So I said, okay, if I cannot heal them, then I must teach them. So about 10 years into the journey, I still continued being in my own space. And about 2012, 2013, that's when I started to teach. 2014, you can say I really started to teach. So I've been teaching for over 10 years now. And the course was Master Thyself. Why did I name it? Because I started to understand that the energy bodies that we have is our own body. That's why they called energy bodies. So as I started to venture out into those spaces, and I was guided by the blue beings or the different, you can call them Palladian beings or whichever you like to call them, but they started to teach me and show me the chakra systems in the energy fields, not the seven ones here, but in the energy fields and how this whole multidimensional experience works. So spending years in that, I started to say, okay, this is great. Now I can utilize this for my reality. How can I create a reality that I really enjoy? Because for the first 4 years, I did not want to connect to people. I had very hard times connecting to people, very hard times to be in public. It was painful seeing all this thing, feeling everything. And then one day, I saw the autobiography of Saint Germain. I was like, wait a minute. This guy had schools, hospitals. He was spiritual. He was wealthy, family. I said to myself, if we don't experience everything, then I am not full potential of God. And that sparked something inside of me to become of this world, yet balanced spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically to merge the 3D and 5D together in order to have a balanced life.
Mm.
So as I started to do that, that's when I was like, okay, it was the whole thing every day, going to work, then come back to meditation, go to Walmart, come back to meditation. So it was basically trial and error the whole time until I figured out that all of it has to do with the negative energies that we picked up, has to do with our judgment, our perception of things. As I started to go deeper into the energy bodies, I started to see how they work, how they operate, how the energy rotates between each energy body, and to create a unified field. As I started to expand further and further, I started to go into my past lives, but I started to go into my future lives, which are happening at the same time, but for just a linear expression, into these multidimensional lifetimes. I started to see how they are related to this lifetime. So I started to say, okay, wait a minute. It's great when I'm meditating up there, but how can it be great here as I'm living and existing in this reality? So these are the things that I started to pull in the energetic strands from other dimensions to bring them in and harness them in this dimension. How is it related to the physical body? How is it related to my mental body, to my astral body, to my causal body? What is it really taking place, and why did my soul chose this reality? Because it's wonderful being up there, close your eyes, and it's like you're in la la land, but then you open your eyes, it's like, oh, I have to do this. I don't want to go here. It's like, wait a minute, I want to experience everything with neutrality, but with joy.
Mm.
And I started to work on that. And as I started to work on that, some people that I was interacting, they're like, you need to teach this. I was like, I have no idea how to teach this. They're like, well, we'll put it together. Okay, go ahead, try it. So I started my first class and it was like the Divine Mind, and that was 2012. And I just having flashes of that right now. And it was like I was nervous. I was like, what am I gonna say? 50 people showed up in the community. I was like, this is, 2012. And I'm like, okay. And as soon as I came on, it was just a shower of wisdom started to pour through, and the higher mind was expressing itself effortlessly. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, I didn't even know that I was able to do that. I was doing that one on one.
Mm.
And then I started to notice that I am able to bring the collective together as I speak. That energy starts to come out naturally, and all the people in the field that are there receiving that information, wisdom, as if I am talking to each one personally.
Mm.
I was like, okay, so these are like channeling gifts that are coming through. I started to see where they come from. Like, okay, many lifetimes as a monk, as a as a yogi, masters. I was like, okay, so started to see how can I bring these qualities in. So I started to download these qualities and see where they resonate and connect into my physical body. And if they couldn't, what are the blocks that I'm having? What is the personality that is having the ego or resistance or has something else in that space that it believes it should be, where in reality, the soul, the spirit says, forget about it. That is not the real you. Remember who you truly are. And so that process of remembrance into forgetting of who you truly are here started to take place through the space of teaching and holding space. So that's how my journey kind of began, and I started to share. And all the teachings that I have is basically what I went through myself. As I understood that, and there's a saying, it's like, know thyself before knowing another, because this organism operates in synchronicity with the divine timing of the universe. And if we really understand that and we really harness it, then it will become much more easier to be in the space of alignment. And this is why I call it Alignment of Light Academies, because we're not healing ourselves. We're not doing anything. We're just coming into alignment of what already is there.
Mm.
And that's how it all kind of just took one thing after another and just kept going.
Right. Okay, well, this is very inspiring, and thank you. So, because I've done a few things that came up, so maybe to start with, I mean, to start to bounce on this. Um, so you are mentioning all these energies and all these bodies, and okay, how to master ourselves. So how does knowing this, that we are energy and we have all those bodies and everything, how does knowing this lead us to transformation and lead us to this embodiment?
So it is just like knowing your body. You know your hand, you know your hair, your face, right? Your body, you're aware of it. The energy bodies are not any separate from us. That's why they're called energy bodies, because they are your energy field. So when we have thoughts or beliefs, they're not in our mind, they're in the field. So, by knowing this and bringing awareness into the space, you are able to transform your mental patterns, your belief systems, your emotional state, your astral state, as well as understand the cause of things that are taking place in your life. Why at, let's say, age of 30 you had such an experience? Because the soul wanted you to have that experience. But why? What is the cause of that? And in the causal body there are programs. Just like we become aware of our hand, we can become aware of our energy bodies. During the great fall, right, when mankind at one point had the power and we operated at a higher frequency. What does that mean, higher frequency? That is meaning that we were operating in the astral plane and above. So we were aware of our energy bodies. So as we are talking now, our energy is interacting. There's no time or space, right? So same thing with our energy bodies. They're multidimensional. They're interacting with other aspects of our own soul that is having experience in other lifetimes. So sometimes we do healing and we say, well, I forgave myself or I forgave the other person. If you truly forgave another person, you will not even have a memory of having resentment towards them. That is true forgiveness. If you kind of accepted it and you're just holding on to it still in your field, so you did not forgive it. Forgiveness is when the field, that the toroidal field or the quantum field, is empty of that memory within it. So that's how we know the true transformation takes place. And knowing these energy bodies, you will truly know what is taking place because energy first creates matter. So if energy creates matter, why are we constantly trying to shift matter? Get to the root cause of it, right? If a tree is ill, you're going to treat the soil, you're going to treat the roots. Same thing here. If something is wrong, that means it's in the field first. So if we bring awareness into that space and we're able to maneuver in that space with our awareness, then we'll understand that all it is the rotational spin of vibration that creates a healthy pulse within your heart. And that's when you keep the tone. And when the tone is stable, within the heart space, all your energy fields and all the hearts in all those fields will synchronize.
Yes, so thank you for unpacking this. And actually, that is what I would like you, if possible, to go deeper into this notion of all our dimensions, which is it all our bodies in this instance, and how do they, I mean, it's not how do they interact, but how are we not aware of this as human beings?
That's I have kids, and before my oldest daughter came into this world, I started to communicate with her in the ether. But before even that, during the time of conception, I have created the field of what I wanted my child to be. And I would communicate to her as she was in the ether, and then as she was conceived in the womb. During that time, I telepathically started to talk to her. And, the souls that are coming in, we are all aware of this. Every single one of us is aware of this. The only thing is that we're not taught this from childhood. We are taught mathematics, we are taught reading, writing, history, geography, all of that, sports, but the main part, it is the intuitive side of our energy bodies. And we're coming back to that because if we take a look at the solar system, the planets that are spinning around the sun, they are the representation of the energy bodies. And same thing around our field, we have that vibrational expansion. And if we bring awareness there, we can literally bend reality. We can create it. Manifestation does not come from sitting there and begging. Manifestation comes from building the geometrical shape within the energy fields and holding that space through the heart. And that's when we know that we're in the proper tone because now we're holding that vibration. But if you're falling and going up and down, you're not holding that tone. You're stepping into a frequency, experiencing it, then your personality takes over. This is where we learn how to surrender the personality to the higher mind. We will, as humanity, move into a higher state of consciousness by transforming our solar plexus and heart center into one sphere. This is the first seven chakras, is only the beginning, and the world is awakening to this. So, by tapping into these energy fields, you'll be able to adjust and hold a structure. It is just like you build your physical body. You go to the gym, 6 months later, you start to see results. Same thing through meditative states. We can create different fields, and then to harness that and create a solidification within that field, we have to find stillness. And when we find stillness, now that field becomes solidified with the absence of the ego mind, where the higher mind comes in. And that's where the higher mind resides, is within the space of the solar plex. If we take a look at channelers, they're always holding their hands in front of their solar plex, right? Why? They are protecting their mental body. They are holding space for their higher self to channel the wisdom that is coming through.
Mm.
So they can be in coherence with their heart and their solar plexus. So the lower three chakras of the ego, the personality, don't interfere. And this is one of the main things is if you want to relay a message, a divine message to somebody, it has to be of absence of the personality.
Mm.
Otherwise, your personality gets involved and you can feel it. You feel when a person is telling you the truth, it's like your whole body starts to shift. Something's tingling within you. That's because they're speaking of the soul's truth, not the personal truth, but the soul's truth. And the soul's truth is the divine timing that we have for everyone.
Mm.
It's just
Yes,
like the
it's.
sun rises in the
Mm.
morning. It cannot pop during the day at 3 p.m. Okay, today I feel like I'm gonna pop at 3 p.m.
Mm.
We would have chaos. But we humans say, I don't feel like doing anything today. I feel emotional or I feel mental. We're not working with the cycles of time. We start to work with the cycle of time. All the emotions and all the mental patterns will automatically organize themselves to the space of your divine will.
mm,
If we're taught this from childhood,
mm,
that would be amazing. So I started to teach my kids this stuff from childhood, telepathic communication, where we talk to one another. And my youngest one is also like going through this process right now, fully activating into her divine oracle wisdom, you can say. And before the children have their they go through their puberty, right, like for girls having their cycle or boys going through their puberty age, there's a big step that takes place. This is the time where you can really in kind of open their gateway to higher dimensions, so that higher dimensional soul aspects can integrate, and then later on in life they will already, it's going to be kind of embedded in them, it will come to them naturally. So I kind of started to do this with my kids, and I saw that, okay, I cannot control them. I cannot tell them meditate every day.
mm,
They're not going to do it. But my oldest one is right now in college. And so she says, oh, today I did not feel well, so I decided to meditate. Ah, okay. Do you do it every day? No. Okay, so you wait till you completely fall down and then you do it. Yeah, I guess. I was like, okay, fine. That's okay, but you have a tool. Now
mm,
she knows how to bring herself back. She knows how
mm,
to go through a stressful situation and knows how to bring herself back into harmony, into her own alignment.
mm,
So if we teach this to our children, or if we start to do this, each person, it will naturally become a natural state of our collective consciousness. People will naturally start to meditate. They will naturally start to tap into these dimensions because we're having a great awakening these days, right?
mm,
Especially after this time of COVID, it just exploded.
mm,
Everybody wants to meditate. Everybody wants to know what they're feeling, what they're seeing. And this is where the course comes in, Master Thyself. I give people the clarity to see themselves,
mm,
give them the tools that they can walk away with and never come back and say, I know how to bring myself back into alignment.
mm,
Because every day we will go up and then one day we'll go back down. And how do you bring yourself back to your center point? And through these proper understandings of energy bodies, you'll understand, okay, this is my emotional state, and this is my mental state, this is my karmic pattern, and this is my soul agreement. Now I know the tools that I need to put in place in order to bring myself back into alignment. And if we do that, now no matter what happens, we know how to come back to our center.
mm,
That is the feel the most important thing for each individual, because there's tons of information online these days. We can learn, but then we come into our physical reality with our family, with our friends, uh, and surroundings, and the next day you're like, oh, I feel depleted, I feel tired, I feel this, and we start to blame somebody. No, 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 no.
mm,
You're the master of your reality, created such so that nothing can deviate you, and you become the effect of light instead of being affected.
mm, mm, mm. Yes, absolutely. Mastering our own lives because yeah, we are creating our own lives. So we are sovereign in that, and it's so actually, could you referred to it, but could you maybe go deeper into the toroidal field of the heart as a magnetic aspect of our
Sure.
bodies?
Yeah. So the heart flows through several different layers.
Mm,
The heart goes through the emotional body, through the mental, through the astral, through the causal. So it's like you can say layers of the heart. The astral heart is what unifies all the seven chakras. The astral body has three major chakras, which is at the lower abdomen, okay? And it's a larger one that expands about a foot to 2 feet around you. So you can say almost a meter. And the heart space unifies, and then the mental space. These three centers become the astral. So if the toroidal field goes this way, I have actually, if the toroidal field goes this way, the heart toroidal field goes this way.
mm,
So it is flowing
mm,
out and around. So it's coming out of the heart and back, and the
mm,
same way into the heart and out through the back. So we have a toroidal field, the major one that goes around us, and that space actually expands about 50 feet around us.
Mm.
Okay. The heart space here expands about 3 feet around us, so about 1 meter. Okay. So once we feel the heart space and you activated the field flowing this way, it will organize the whole thymus gland, the endocrine system, and it will raise the vibration where the merger of the solar plexus and the heart takes together. So the lower realms and the upper realms merge. So you're no longer the ego mind or the higher self. Now they are merging where your intuition becomes of you. You're no longer searching for intuition, but the intuition flows through you now. And this is where I call the astral twin. The astral twin is you who is doing all the work in the multidimensional experiences. Okay. And the astral twin and you are now becoming best friends.
Mm.
You're merging. So the thymus gland here starts to vibrate at a higher frequency, and the corpuscles within them start to activate as well. In the thymus gland, we have little corpuscles, and these corpuscles are like little chakras that connect to many dimensions. So if we activate the toroidal field, now you have balanced the emotional, the mental, and the astral body. These three and the physical body, total of four, become one. They become solidified. They become the spirit. So now the spirit and the soul can dance together. No longer pulling and pushing, but you're going with the flow.
Mm. Yes, so there is this because when you were, I think you mentioned somewhere magnetic and that, so is it something that we, because it's energy, is it something that we magnetize in because we are electrical, or, how does it work
So
to create
magnetic
this?
is, yes, the down up. So we have a toroidal. The one
Mm,
that comes up is the magnetic, and the one that comes down is electric. Okay.
okay.
So magnetic is the feminine,
Mm,
electric is the masculine.
mm,
And when we balance the masculine and the feminine within ourselves, it is not referring the male and the female. It is referring of positive and negative charge working together, no
mm,
longer pulling and pushing or blaming. It is working in unison. So it is a divine father and a divine mother meet together, right? Within the heart space. But
mm,
when they meet together in the heart space, that means your inner child has come into wholeness. And the inner
mm,
child is the lower three centers. You have an infant self, which is basically until you're about 6 months old. And then you have the inner child, which is about 6 or 7 years old. These parts, and then you have a teenage self till about 14 or 15 years old. These parts, the lower three chakras in those, will start to unite and work with the heart. When they unite, that is the astral body, the thymus gland up here. It is the heart of your inner child.
mm,
You have the heart chakra here, but the upper heart chakra, it is the chakra of your infant self, your inner child. And when that becomes fully activated, this is where the harmony of light, love comes in, and you become a basically an explorer of life because the inner child wants to play.
mm,
It looks at everything with such excitement. It doesn't judge. It sees, oh wow, what is this? Oh wow, what's that? And it goes, oh look at that leaf. Oh look at this little bug. It's excited and it always wants to explore.
mm,
That is our natural state as a child.
mm,
So when that takes place, we are no longer bounded by the personality and the belief systems that we have adapted from our families.
mm,
Now the emotional state is raising up in a higher state of vibration, and your astral twin now merges fully.
mm,
This
mm,
is where now you are able to travel through your dream state and be at willingly coming out of your body, have different experiences, and do the work in the astral plane that can harness and integrate into this reality.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, that's a good transition because this brings to me the question: how can people now in our human self, in our human life, begin to harmonize those fields so as to live from this higher state of being without, as you were also referring to, being in a meditative, I mean, sitting on a couch all day meditating, you know, how can we really embody this? Can you give us some guidance on this?
Yeah. Um,
Tips, advice? I don't know.
First thing I would always tell to people, this is not your body.
Mm,
Because they say, this is my body, I do what I wish, you know, this is not your body. This is the body of your soul. This is
mm,
the body of your soul that wants to integrate, but it cannot integrate into this dense form because it needs to be purified. Our belief systems are stored in the body, and they change the neurological pathways of the brain from belief systems. So the grid system around our field changes. And one thing I ask people is breathe in. And first thing when they breathe in, where are you breathing into? Are you breathing into your chest, into your solar plex, or are you breathing all the way down to your navel, below
mm,
your navel? That is where we should be breathing. Our abdomen should expand as we breathe in. So now that the abdomen is expanding, now you know that you're creating the oxygen inside the body to purify the gland system, because the gland systems is the chakras. It is a gateway that opens up to other dimensions. So the glands, we have the ovary glands, the kidney glands, the pancreas glands, the pineal pituitary, all the glands in the body are actually gateways. So if we need to understand, first we need to understand is how to breathe. So breathing into that space all the way to the space of the pubic bone even, and
mhm,
expanding the hips. Now what we're doing is we're activating the vehicle to work in unison.
mm,
Then once we learn that we are maintaining our breath, okay, now we are maintaining the tone, because breath controls our tone, and that whichever vibration we step into, we want to maintain that. It is done through the breath. So if we get upset, angry, or frustrated, any of those emotions that come up, what happens? We change our breath. We get scared. We breathe
mm,
into our chest, and that's it. We're not breathing all the way. So the system goes into shock,
mm,
and it doesn't really work properly. And the soul says, well, I cannot be in this system that is not really aligned with me. And it will pull and retrieve, and it will wait until you really step into it because it is timeless.
mm.
But
Yes,
we're like, okay, I need to do this now. Well,
yes.
it has patience and it will wait. It has to wait another lifetime. It will,
Mm,
because that will go transfer into your causal body, and the causal body will say, okay, in this lifetime, let's see if you can take care of this.
mm,
Okay. So it continues going.
mhm,
And through this breath, understanding of breathing, and able to understand the organs and how they operate and why they operate, because they're not made for digestion, they are made to process energy, they're
mm,
made to process emotions, different beliefs. And we think it's only for food. That's why fasting is very important. Because
mm,
when you fast, you actually clear yourself out of these beliefs that are stuck inside the organs, and you actually food desire comes because of the energy.
mm,
Your food, you should not force yourself to eat certain things or do certain way. You'll do it naturally when the energy is there and vibrating at a certain frequency. You will
mm,
naturally change the way you want to eat.
mm,
So the organs operate like inside of a watch. The liver, the kidneys, the spleen, the pancreas, the digestive system, the lungs, the heart. It's like inside of a watch, all the mechanism working together in unison. You remove one, your clock is off.
mm,
Your
mm,
seconds, your minutes will just go all over the place. Same thing with the organs. We have to understand what they do and how to breathe into those spaces and be able to control our breath.
mm.
to be able to breathe in for 30 seconds and breathe out for 30 seconds.
mm,
So that would be one breath a minute. You're slowing down the time. And this is when you slow down the time, you'll be able to really understand the energy field because the body and the mind comes into stillness. And now you become the observer. Because everybody always wants to activate the pineal. And there's a lot. Everybody's like, activate the pineal. I want to see what's out there. Blah, blah. Everybody wants to venture out.
mm,
But you're only getting glimpses of these things.
mm,
The true thing is to find balance in your hormonal system, which is the pituitary gland. Once you balance the pituitary gland, that's when the pineal will go on naturally and it will stay on based on your desire of opening and closing it, not whenever it just comes in and out. So, mastery of that comes
mm,
through breath.
mm,
I would say the first thing is breath, getting into that parasympathetic nervous system and finding stillness in that breath, really calmness in the body. Awareness is the next thing I would focus on. Without awareness, you cannot do anything. Awareness is the most important part because awareness allows you to expand into the consciousness. Because we're not expanding our consciousness. Our consciousness is already expanded. We're expanding our awareness into what already is
mm,
consciousness. So if we expand our awareness, we start first learning the body, we understand it, then we get into the field. Now we see how the field communicates with the body. Because back to this diagram here, this is the toroidal field. You're in the center of it. If the humankind is in the center of the toroidal field, that means everything that is flowing in has to process through the core, the being. So we are the being, the core. So if the field expands 50 feet, we only know 10% of ourselves. They say, oh, you're only using 10% of your mind.
mm,
Well, in reality, you only know 10% of yourself. That's what they meant, probably.
mm,
Because the rest of it is very powerful. This is where the thoughts are. This is where the emotions are. And this just processes what's in the field. So if in the meditative state, we can transform that and we can spiral that energy because energy is in constant motion, just like the planets constantly spiraling. It doesn't say, oh, Mercury is retrograde, Venus will wait for that. No, they continue moving. They're creating a powerful mandala. That is what your field is, and that's what your chakras are. And when you create that perfect mandala through the breath, synchronization with the mind, with the heart, and your inner child, that is when you're becoming a one pillar. You're building an antakarana, the fluorescent tube of light that flows through you. So you become a harnessing being of light. And the process is not that's going to happen right away. It's a lifetime process. That's what we're mainly here for. We're not here to be 9 to 5. I understand we have to pay for our roof and our food and everything. Yes. But if you prioritize 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour at night for your breath work and your meditations, within few months, you'll see a difference already in your life. Just that. And then if you start to increase it little by little, 10, 15 minutes, or maybe add another hour to 3 hours a day of this type of work, you will see how you really change your life. How the light will bow down to you and wait for your command. Because we have much more responsibility than the angels do. They're all waiting for us. We have the responsibility to send energy up and to receive. They have responsibility only to send energy down. There's an angel for love, love, angel for success, success, angel for harmony, uh, angel for health, right? But we have all of those qualities that we need to embody.
mm,
So we have to do this work ourselves internally, as well as be part of this reality. And that is where my whole work comes in, is how do we merge those two dimensions, 3D and 5D, through the space of the fourth dimension, which is the astral body. So we can become the effect instead of being affected.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And actually, you will take us on a process on the astral body a bit later on. So, okay, yes, well, that's very well. Thank you for bringing clarity like this and giving us those advices. So maybe to open up a little bit the perspective also from on the collective, the human collective. What is your perspective of where we are now on this collective journey of remembering who we are?
Remembering who we are, exactly. This is very powerful because we're starting to forget who we are not. And as a collective, I believe we're moving to a very we're moving very fast, and it's going to start moving even faster. There is no going back the way we were. We know that the shift is already here. We're already part of it. The timelines are merging very fast, and we see what's taking place. You like it or not, the children, the people are awakening. They want to know what is happening to them. They already know what's happening with society, with all this news and everything. The truth is coming out, right? So now the next stage is now the inner truth. What is true to you and your soul? Not what somebody else said, but what makes you tingle inside? What makes you excited? The truth of embodiment of wisdom, of divine wisdom. I'd like to call it the Elohimic consciousness, the pure consciousness of where mankind came from. This is where we're coming back to, is the Christed consciousness. Not talk about Yahshua. I'm referring to the Christ consciousness that each one of us is. We walked the earth that way. We understood harmony. There was no such a thing as stealing, owning, possession, mine, yours, relationship problems, because we were in harmony. We didn't even have to wear clothes. That's how benevolent we were because we understood by looking at a person that, oh, okay, you are here for this reason for me, and I am here for you. We might have this time frame to be together. At age of 12 or 13, they knew that this is going to be their partner to co-create in this world telepathically. So we're stepping into the telepathic environment of existence, understanding the Lumerian timeline. So we're coming back up to this divine Elohimic consciousness as we were created at first, before the distortion. We're now stepping into the triple helix DNA activation and the 24th chromosome. What does that really mean? It means the activation of the 24 nerves within the brain and the triple helix DNA, which is the DNA of our astral body and beyond. Through that space, we are becoming telepathic. We are now stepping into that space of telepathy. We're stepping into the space of awareness and intuition, integration into this dimension, no longer becoming separate. We are now discovering the old ruins, the old pyramids throughout the world, ancient sites, everything's coming out. But to understand that, we can only understand it when we start to operate through the astral body, through the higher dimension. So we as humans are moving into that. And I would not be surprised in the next 30 to 40 years, we will shift into that so rapidly that even the children that are coming into this earth will see that they can naturally be in that state.
Mm.
The next big thing, which we'll see the change, is in the school systems.
Mm.
The school systems are at a verge, and probably by 2030, I don't want to say anything, but from what I see, would change because the school systems have to change. The new souls that are coming in, they will be demanding that to take place. And the new souls that are coming in, they're coming in through the portal of the sun
Mm.
because the sun is the portal for the souls. So when these souls are coming in and all the shifts that we're having, the flares, it's a reprogramming of the sun, which is reprogramming the Earth biosphere and our personal biosphere, creating the vibration for the new souls to come in with that wisdom naturally. So as they come in, they will become the new leaders, or we will see AI become the next
Mm.
politic. It will take over the politicians, basically. It will become the government.
Mm.
So this is where we also still kind of deciding where we're going, but I'm sure everything works out for the divine good. I mean, take a look at COVID, and it came out to be a benefit for the whole world. It's
Mm.
3 months people were locked away, and for 3 months, Gaia rejuvenated herself. 3 months people were away, recognized self-realization, and started to explore more about divinity and meditation and how to dive deeper into their consciousness. So even the darkness works for the light. We just have to see how it is working for the light. Don't get stuck in somebody said this, they're going to destroy that. Nothing's going to happen. The divine will not allow it. It will be a smooth transition. The way we can change the system is to become part of it and guide it into the light, not destroy it. Because if you destroy it, you are still part of the darkness. The light does not destroy anything. It does not fight, it does not argue. It enters and it transforms from within like a flower.
Mm.
And that
Mhm.
is my whole big thing, is that for people to step into that, transform things, go into that darkness. Don't be afraid of it. It is a broken aspect of ourselves that needs nurturing. Yeah.
Well, thank you for this
Thank you.
beautiful vision that you brought us and this glorious um, journey that we are seeing ahead. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing all this, and actually for everyone watching, please let us know in the comments any ahas you received from what Igor just shared with us. So, and we really love Igor and his work, and we have great news because Igor has contributed a very special offering exclusively for the Cosmic Truth audience. It's called the Astral Projection Masterclass, and you can find it inside the Cosmic Truth Mastery Collection. And the Mastery Collection gives you access to all the replays, the summit replays, and also of all the speakers offering. So if today's talk really sparked something in you, this is a perfect next step. So check out your emails now. You will find all the information in it. So now, Igor, you are going to guide us through this process, energetic alignment and heart field activation. We were a bit speaking about it earlier. So I believe this is, yes, to help us, I mean, get in tune with our toroidal heart field.
Sure.
So this will be great for everyone to experience your work inside their field. So, well, the space is open when you're ready.
Sure. How much time do I have? Just so I know. Otherwise, I can sometimes
Well,
go
5 minutes would be good, I think.
5 minutes. Okay.
Yes.
So I just invite everybody to take a deep breath in into our abdomen and slowly breathe out through the nose. Breathing in, slowly breathing out. As you slowly breathe out, allow your breath out to be longer than your breath in. This allows your body to relax, let go of all expectations, desires, wants, or needs. As you slowly breathe out, feel your work field around you. Envision that you're in a bubble, an egg-shaped energy all around you. As you slowly breathe out, feel that energy expanding in front of you and behind you. As you slowly breathe out, feel the energy expanding in front and in the back. And the next breath out, feel the energy expanding to the left and the right. Allow your imagination to guide you. And the next breath out, feel that energy expanding above you and beneath you. Now gently bring awareness above your crown, about 12 inches above you. As you bring awareness above you, envision a golden sphere of light, like the great sun, spiraling, and a golden halo expands from the sun above you. As that energy spirals at a speed of light, expanding 3 feet around you, 1 meter around you, feel that golden sun descend down into the center of your sixth center, into your third eye. Allow that golden light to spiral within the center of your mind and around your energy field. Feel that spiral descending down through your throat center, recalibrating, balancing, aligning, and activating your space of Akash. As your throat center expands, you feel the vibration of your higher self, an expression of the light through your throat center. Allow that light to continuously spiral around your throat center as it descends down into your heart space. Feel the heart space expanded as the golden halo of the sun spirals all around you, purifying, crystallizing into your unconditional love through the space of the universe. See all the planets spiraling around you. With a gentle smile, it becomes effortless. Feel that light spiraling down to the space of your solar plexus, where the divine mind expresses itself. Feel that golden halo spiraling all around you, and the golden sun within the center of your solar plexus, where the soul's light emanates and the persona surrenders. We feel that sun descending down into our abdomen. Feel that golden light spiraling around your hips and within your hips, as the golden light transforms and transmutes and creates balance within the mother and the father within you, the masculine and the feminine, where the balance takes place of the light. As we descend down to our root center, the space of belonging. As that golden light continues to spiral down, you know that you belong here. You belong here on Gaia. She is the Divine Mother. Allow that energy to descend down lower, beneath your feet, beneath the soles of your feet, into Gaia. Now envision you're sitting in a golden cocoon of light. The golden light spirals all around you. This light flows through your skin, through your tissue, purifying every corpuscle, every cell, every neuron within your mind starts to sparkle in a crystalline light. Gently bring awareness between your eyebrows, where your nose and eyebrows meet together. Allow yourself to transcend into the space of stillness. The space where spirit and soul unite. Gently breathe in, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Mm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Igor. I just want to stay a few seconds more because I felt this kind of weaving. I mean, it was like I was, like those old computers where they say, those kind of
Yeah,
things. That's what I felt anyway. So
yeah.
thank you. It was beautiful, and so please, everyone here with us, let us know what you felt, and let us know what you experienced. And so if you want to tap into this again in your own time, at your own pace, we have created the Cosmic Truth replay package, and that will give you lifetime access to all of the replays from the summit. So if you feel called to get, I mean, you can jump back to anytime to those sessions. So check your emails right now. So Igor, for those who are feeling a strong resonance with your work, and so that people can go deeper with you, could you share about the astral projection masterclass that is being offered to the Cosmic Truth audience?
Sure, yeah. Class for astral projection. It's going to be a 4 hour, I believe, about 3 to 4 hours, where we go into depth of understanding the astral body, how it operates, how willingly you're able to come out, releasing fears and belief systems that are holding you back from having these experiences. And then towards the end, we will actually go through hands-on, and I'm going to guide you guys through how to come out of the body and experience astral traveling and astral projection. So that is one of the powerful experiences when you really willingly come out. One thing is when we come out like, oh, I just had this astral projection dream, or just came out. But once you're doing willingly, you'll be able to project yourself as even if we are in awakened state. So you'll be able to teleport your astral body into different spaces as you practice more and more of that. So this is where we start to become multi-dimensional.
Mm. Right. And so who is this for? Can anybody benefit from this, or
Oh
do
yeah,
you
this
need
is
to
for
have a
everyone.
special? Okay.
Definitely, this is for everyone. I go through depth and details of things. People will be able to ask questions as well. So it goes into very details, and I'll make sure that everybody's able to kind of get into that space. So it's practice, obviously, but definitely they'll be able to see this over and over again and be able to practice it on their own. So as long as they have the willingfulness and the desire to go forward with it, to be one with their soul self and their God self, goddess self, definitely it works.
Okay, great. And so what will make this, what is this, how is this masterclass different from other astral travel teachings?
I'm not sure how others are, but I know that I've created these courses based on my own experiences.
Mm.
Because this is how I learned about the energy bodies is through the astral space, is constantly coming out of my body every night or every during the day in my meditations and learn with these different ascended beings that showed me how these energy bodies operate. So in the course, I will get them into the space of coming out of their body first and how to observe and see into these dimensions. So I think pretty much everybody should be able to do this. I know because from my previous courses, people are having tremendous transformations. Not only that course I also have the Master Thyself course, which is another course, but it also teaches them how to step into the energy bodies and move that energy there as well.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. And so maybe to wrap up, would you like to share maybe any closing words of wisdom?
Any closing words of wisdom? Do not take life seriously. Everything
Mm.
always passes. And when you look back at it, you'll realize why or what took place. So allow yourself to look at things with a gentle smile because it is not happening to you. It is guiding you somewhere where you can perceive from the eye of the soul. So don't take things personally, allow things to be. And I think that's very important because we get too serious and then we become very delirious. So life is too short. Allow things to be and things will flow. Everything always works out the way it needs to be. Always, even if we don't see it.
Beautiful, yes, it's a beautiful conclusion. Thank you for sharing this. And to everybody who was here with us, thank you for joining. I'm sure you received so much from Igor's wisdom. And thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Igor.
And thank you, Annie, for holding the space and creating these podcasts for people to see. Thank you so much for spreading the wisdom of the divine light.
Thank you.
Thank you.